Hello and welcome everyone. It's Kathleen here back with you today. And first of all, sorry for my voice. I am a little bit stuffy, but I think will survive the next hour. So I'm excited to be on our YouTube channel again, sharing another card making live session. So I'm just checking the chat real quick. So behind the Pinkfresh Studio name today is Kinnery. Thank you, Kinnery, for moderating for me, because Jody is representing Pinkfresh Studio at a trade show. So today I have a fun interactive card prepared for you. And before I get started, before I show you what's on my desk, I want to just, mention all of the usual housekeeping things. So of course we will have a giveaway as usual. So we are giving away 4 $50 gift cards, 2 in the live chat, and then 2 on the replay. And in the live chat, all you have to do is just be active in the chat. Every time you enter something, every time you write something is another entry to win. And then at the end of the session, Kinnery is going to randomly pick 2 winners who will win a $50 gift card each to our shop. And if you share this video, if you give a thumbs up, if you subscribed and so on, then definitely let us know, because again, every time you write something, it's another entry. And then if you are watching on the replay, then all you have to do is leave a comment on the replay, and all the comments that are posted until Monday next week, midnight, are entered in the giveaway. Okay, so I think that's all of the housekeeping things out of the way. Oh, no, one more thing. If you haven't joined us before, if you have a question for me or for Kinnery, make sure that you put the word question in caps at the beginning of your message, and that way it's easier for us to see in the chat. And if we miss your question, then please just ask again. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of people already joined. Some names I recognize. Hi, Brienne, Joy. I saw Mariette join us. Lots of names I've seen before, so I'm happy that you are all here. And I'm going to flip my camera so that you can see what I have prepared for you. Well, right now you can't see much. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so you can only see this so far, but you should have gotten a little glimpse of what I have planned, or what I, prepared a little bit beforehand in the trailer that I posted, and also the sneak peek I posted on the Pinkfresh Studio account on Instagram. Okay, so I have here the new ice cream truck set or product suite, and I think I say this every time, but this is definitely one of my favorites. And it's such a cute little set. It's also a favorite of my son. And I also pulled out the side slider die. So this is an older die. We released it in November 2023, but it's definitely a great set to have and to combine with, whatever you have in your stash. Hold on. Kinnery recently answered a question for me about the upcoming Create and Connect. Okay, so now that someone already mentioned the upcoming Create and Connect, I want to get it out of the way already. I will mention it again at the end probably, but on Thursday, so in 2 days, at the same time, I am going to go live again on the Pinkfresh Studio channel and do a live unboxing of the event kit. So registration for the upcoming Create and Connect Techniques for Card Makers event starts on Friday, 9 a.m. And on Thursday, so a day before, I'm going to go live to show you all of the kit contents and tell you a little bit more about what we have planned for you, and so that you can get ready to sign up on Friday. Okay, so, and of course we are also giving away a spot to the event. So that's, two very exciting things happening on Thursday. But before that, let's get back to our card today. Okay, so as I said, I grabbed the ice cream truck set, and I want to use the side slider die because this ice cream truck set, as the name suggests, includes a truck. So something that kind of screams for movement. And for those of you who joined our Cards for Him event, will have seen my class that also involved movement. So I feel like this is going to be sort of a go-to technique for me. So what I'm going to do first is I already have my Misty here and a piece of just hammermill cardstock in here. And first of all, I'm going to stamp the bear and ice cream cones because the truck is only ink blended. It's only part of the stencils. It's not a stamp. Now, the thing you want to keep in mind if you want to do everything at the same time, like the ink blending, is that you need a bigger piece of cardstock than just this part here. And what I did to make sure that the way I place my stamp, I will be able to also fit the truck on this piece here, is first of all, I laid my stencil in here. And then I grabbed my stamp and just laid it over the opening that would ink blend or stencil in these parts. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to get a, rough placement. And then I close my door and just pick up the stencil. And that way I can be sure that my truck will fit on this part here. Okay. I think I haven't missed any questions yet, but if I did, then please just ask again. I'm not using a sticky mat in the Misty, no. I only use my magnets because I just made sure to push my paper all the way into the edge here, and that's it. I don't use a sticky mat. Now I'm going to stamp this in Rocky Slope because I do want to ink blend over this, so I don't want to stamp with black already. And I don't need a perfect stamped image, it's just so that I can line up my stencils. So I'm good with that, because I will double stamp with the detail black once I'm done with my ink blending. But I just don't want to have to heat set it before I can do the ink blending and, risk that I'm smudging my image. Okay. As I said, I think I didn't miss anything. If I did, then ask again. Now I'm just going to tape this down, and now I can grab the layering stencils and do stencil number 1, and now I only need to line up the stamp part here. So you don't need, if you do it like this, you don't need the registration marks for now. You can do it like this, and it's a bit tricky if I can't put my head like right above. So I hope I got it lined up nicely. And now I want to make sure, so I didn't show you that. I also have my colors picked today. Question. Opinion on why you don't use a sticky mat. To be honest, I have never found like a reason or like that I needed it, to be honest. Maybe for smaller pieces, but then I would usually do just like cut whatever piece I want to stamp on out and then do like this sort of make like a jig. But other than that, I don't know why I would use a sticky mat. So yeah. Question. There was another question. What time on Thursday is the product reveal of the kit? It's noon. Same time as today, just like in 2 days from now. But as it is already scheduled on our channel, so you can already sign up for notifications. And we will also send out a newsletter on that day to remind you, just to make sure that you don't miss anything. Okay, so I want to ink blend these parts in different colors. For my bear, I'm going to use dough, and I'm just using a 1/2 inch blending brush and my ink cubes. You could of course use your full-size ink pads. It's just that, especially when I do a live and I don't have that much space, I usually grab my ink cubes. And for this one, I'm just going to ink blend the full image. I'm not doing any shading. You could, but I don't feel like I need to. Now, before I come in with the inks for my ice cream scoops, I'm going to wipe that off, just to make sure that I don't get any brown on my scoops. You could, of course, mask it, whatever you feel like is easiest for you. And then for the scoops, I'm going to use sweet mustard. And I'm going to ink blend this small scoop here and then also the larger one. And for the larger one, I'm going to come in with a darker color. Now you could mask the bear. If you are afraid that you are going to get ink on the bear, then just mask it or put like a scrap piece of paper on top. I'm just trying to be careful. So I'm going in with Marigold as well. And I'm just ink blending this from the bottom, sort of where this scoop touches the other ones, to kind of indicate this shadow. And then for my truck, I want to use a different color again. Now this time I am going to mask, or just cover it with a bit of scrap paper, because I am going to ink blend the truck with blue, and I definitely don't want to get any blue on my scoops or on the bear. So I'm going to use Blue Jay. And now just ink blending the whole truck. I'm going to first of all put one layer of ink down without any shading or anything, just sort of coming in from outside, and I am now doing a little bit more at the bottom, or like around the outside of the truck. And keep in mind, these are dye inks, so even if I have some uneven parts here right now, once the ink dries, it will smoothen out and it will all look nice. Now you could do this in different colors, you could do lots of shading. I don't want to spend too much time on the shading right now. And then I can take this off. I'm going to clean my stencils after this live. Just gonna wipe, clean them with a microfiber cloth for now, and then do a good clean once I'm done. Now stencil number 2 is this one, and again it's really easy to line up. You just have to look for the scoops, and that's it. Yeah, I do love Blue Jay. It's such a nice blue. It's so, I don't know, it's just so cheerful. I really like it. And yes, the 1-inch blending brushes. I mean, look how easy it was and how quick it was to color in this image. Now for these two little, I don't even know what you would call it, like those are the kind of pieces that would hold the large ice cream scoop as like the sign of the truck. I'm going to ink blend with Rocky Slope. For the wheels, I'm going to use Sweet Mustard. And here I'm just sort of doing it a little bit uneven on purpose, so it has a little bit of shading. Now for the ice cream scoops, I'm going to use bubblegum. And for the small one, I'm going to use passion fruit. So passion fruit on this one. Did I miss a question? No. And bubblegum for this medium sort of scoop here. And for the large one here. And for the large one, again, I'm going to use a darker tone as well, or darker shade. So I'm also going to come in with Raspberry Bliss. Also such a nice color. Especially combined with the Blue Jay, I think. And that's it on this stencil layer. The next one is just the ice cream cones and the window. Again, it's a bit difficult to line it up if you can't put your head like right on above the surface, but I can manage. Question: from where's the magnetic mat? Well, it's an old We Are Memory Keepers foil quill mat. So this is actually used for like with an electronic die cutting machine with their foil quill. But yeah, that's what I'm using to keep my stencils in place and my paper. So I'm using Warm Buff for the ice cream cones or the waffle cones. You could also use a little bit of like peach fuzz if you want to give this a bit more of a orangey brown tone. Now for the window, I'm going to use just a light layer of sky blue, and I'm coming in from the front and blending it out towards the back to create this illusion of this sort of rounded 3D shape. And I'm also going to use my brush that I used with the Rocky Slope, with the gray ink, and I'm just going to ink blend whatever's left on it on top. And that's it for this one. And the last layer is for the final scoop, the apron, and some details on the truck. Now, another fun thing you could do, especially for those details on the truck, is you could just go in with some embossing ink and use this on top of the stencil, and then use embossing powder on those in those places. So you could do like gold or even sparkly embossing powder, or you could go in with some glitter paste, something like this. I would like to do it, but to be honest, in a life where I need to have everything sort of dry, I just don't want to wait, and I don't want to risk it smudging. Okay, so hold on. So this is this is Coral Reef. So I'm using this for my last scoop. And for the apron. And I am going in with passion fruit on top for a bit more shading. Oh, and I'm also going to use whatever's left on my brush down here on top of the yellow wheels. Being careful not to ink blend this on top of the blue parts. And now for the blue, hold on. So this one I actually am going to cover with some tape because I will go in with sapphire, so a very dark blue, on top of, so for the details on the truck. And I don't want this on top of my yellow wheels. I'm so glad you're liking the color scheme. I was in the mood for something bright, summery, fresh, you know, so. And I feel like Raspberry Bliss is a color I can't really avoid right now. It's just one that I tend to grab recently. I could use a 1-inch blending brush right now, but to be honest, I was just too lazy. And I mean, the 1/2 inch does the trick too. So, okay. And this is it for now. Now keep in mind I am going to restamp the bear and ice cream cones. Okay. Now, I'm just checking the comments or the chat real quick. Thank you, Karen. Yes, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Yes, if you enjoyed this video, we definitely love it if you give this a thumbs up. Okay, so now I'm going to, hold on, clean this first. And then I am going to look for my Misty. Now for this technique to work, obviously you need to keep your stamp in place. Don't take it out, because otherwise it will be quite difficult to get it lined up again, or at least like perfectly. And now I can, so what you could do if you want to make sure that you have, that everything is lined up nicely. Let me just get the brushes and inks out of the way for a moment. What you could do is just ink this up with gray again and stamp on top so that you can make sure that everything is lined up nicely. But since I have my paper pushed all the way, you know, into the edge, and that's why I had it the first time, I'm just going to go with the detail black already. And I'm going to grab my stamp press tool. Can you clean the mat easily as well? Yes. So this one, the one I was using, the magnetic one, is just like metallic, sort of a metallic finish, whatever. So I just wipe it with a, you can also wipe it with a baby wipe. And that's it. Look how nice that looks. I see there's sprinkles in a glass tube. So yeah, these ones are, so I grabbed these to show you, because I was thinking of maybe also including a shaker element. So these were actually part of February's event kit, like these were part of the swag, and they were also part, or like a freebie that we gave away with, I think, the February or March release. So some of you may have these. If not, you can of course grab whatever sequins or glitter or sprinkles you have in your stash. So for the stamp, I am actually going to clean that real quick. Okay. And put this back in here. What black ink did I use? It's our detail black ink. So this is a hybrid ink, and it's such a nice deep black ink. It is available as a full-size ink pad and also the ink cubes. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and die cut this, and you can see here on the die that all of these images are merged onto one die. So you only have to line it up once, which is nice. Now, if you, for example, only want to stamp and ink blend the, let's say, the large ice cream cone, because I also did a card where I only used the large ice cream cone, you could definitely do that and just, you know, not put any paper behind the rest of the die. So don't feel like you need to use it as the full piece. What stamp cleaner do I have in my bottle? So this is our Pinkfresh Spritz bottle, and I made my own stamp cleaner. I think we have the recipe in our FAQs on our website. And yeah, I just mixed it with, like, it's a part water, a little bit of soap, and a little bit of, is it a little bit of alcohol? I can't remember right now, to be honest. So just look it up in our FAQs. The ice cream, Carolyn is asking if she can purchase the ice cream truck as a kit. So no, all of our product suites, you can of course purchase each piece individually to build your own kit, but we purposely don't sell them as kits because sometimes we also have, let's say, a press plate and a stamp in a product suite, and some people don't do press plates or they prefer to have the press plate versus the stamp. So that's why we just have each of these pieces available individually, and then you can just grab whatever you feel like you want to have. Doesn't alcohol take the sticky off your stamps? That's why I'm saying I would need to double check. Glycerine is the other ingredient. Thank you, Tiffany. I knew it was something else, but not alcohol. Yes, glycerine. No, right. I want to grab my die cutting machine. Where to get glycerine? I just got it from the pharmacy in like a little bottle. So be a bit careful because I have my camera stand like here so that I don't push my camera off the desk. And here you can see how easily you can get all of these pieces. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual pieces, and these 2 cutouts are from the windows. So you even get those little windows with the die. And here you can see that the truck also has a little bit of a margin, a little bit of wiggle room. So even if you, like, the die does have a little bit of play. Okay. So let me just make some room here. Okay, now to be able to use my A2, or not the A2, but the side slider die, I want to have a background where I can put my truck on. You could just do white, or you could do, let's say, a letterpressed or hot foiled background with the new Petal Grid press plate that's also part of this release. You know, lots of different options. I thought I would do a little bit of an ink blended background and do, where is it? And do these 3 colors that I also used before to ink blend my background. I'm just grabbing the large ink pads because it's a little bit easier, and I don't get ink all over my hands if I try to use the ink cubes. But you could definitely use your ink cubes with the 1-inch blending brushes. I do that frequently, so yeah. Now you can see, so this is an A2 size panel. I prepared this, and what I did before the live is I used these sprinkle stamps here. These are also part of the ice cream truck stamp set. And I just heat embossed them with white detail embossing powder on the background. Now they're not super even because I don't know, but something seems to be up with my embossing powder. I don't know why. It just didn't emboss the way it used to. But it's fine. I just wanted a little bit of something in the background without it being too much. Because I also played around with the Petal Grid press plate and the Aura hot foil. But I felt like this would be too busy and too much in the background of this truck. It's a pretty background, don't get me wrong, but just for this card that I have in mind, I thought it might be a little bit too much. And here I'm just trying to, you know, get all of these three colors sort of evenly distributed across my panel and just making sure that they also overlap in some places. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just, you know, use whatever color you feel like. But by repeating colors that I also have in my stamped and ink blended image, I'm just making sure that it's not going to be too busy. Okay, question, is that Pinkfresh spray bottle available on the site? Yes, it's it should be in the Studio Essentials section. Maybe Kinnery can post a link to it, but yes, it is available. Hold on. Oh, I just went with my passion fruit, or sorry, with my pink blending brush into the passion fruit, but you know, it's fine. It survived. All is well. Okay, a little bit more of this, and then I think I'm happy with it. Because you have to keep in mind with these dye inks, once they dry, they do lighten a little bit. So if you feel like this is what you want it to look like in the end, you need to do a bit more. So always keep that in mind. So I will do a little bit more until it looks almost too dark, too bold, because once it dries, it will lighten a little bit. You know what? I just have to grab Raspberry Bliss. It's just such a nice color. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I might have misspoken. I thought the spritz bottle was available. I'm so sorry. Maybe it was for a while. I can't remember. Sorry if I gave you wrong information there. Okay, so what we need to do now is I need to die cut some pieces for the side slider die. Now, since, you know, once you get this pack of dies here, you might not immediately know how this works and how it's put together. Completely understandable. If you look for this die in our shop, so if you just search for side slider die and open the product page, you will find a video by Carissa Wiley, or you can also search it on YouTube on our channel. Just search side slider die, and then you can find a tutorial that Carissa did where she explains, you know, in detail and very thoroughly how you put this together, if you want to get an idea. So what I'm going to do is, hold on. I thought I still had like a little test card somewhere where I could show you, but seems like I don't. So what I will do is I will cut this die right here from my ink blended background, and I will center it because I'm not sure yet if I will need or want to use the frame or not. No. So Tra is asking, when you circle the brushes back and forth on the ink pad, does it loosen the threads of the ink pad? No, that shouldn't happen. So I've never had that happen with our brushes or inks. So yeah. So as I said, I'm trying to center this and also trying not to use too much tape. This is a low-tech tape, so it shouldn't pull up any of the paper or anything, but still, you know, I only want to use as much as I need to. Just making sure that it is actually centered. Okay. So, carefully pulling this up because, as I said, I might want to use the frame. Now I have this piece here with this slit, so I can put this to the side, and then I need to cut this from, I will cut this from some white cardstock. You could cut this from whatever color you like. This is the card that goes inside. So when you pull it out, that's what you would see. So you could also do like a colored cardstock. And then we need this piece right here that I am going to cut from acetate, but you could also cut this from white cardstock or, you know, something else. Hold on. I still need my die cutting machine. So just cutting the card first, or you could also, I can also do this from this piece of white cardstock, and then I would cut another one from acetate. To see what works best for me. So this, now this one I don't need. You could use this if you want to put it on top, for example, or like cover it your your pull-out card or whatever. I'm not going to use it, so I only need the other three pieces, and this one, and a bit of acetate. Okay. So I think I can get my die cutting machine out of the way now. I don't think I will need it anymore. And I can also put the dies away, just so that I don't lose any, because, you know, things tend to get lost. Okay, so, and I need my card base. I know I had one somewhere here. So this is an A2 card base. So as for the inks used in this video, because Deb says she wishes that all the colors used in this video were sold as a set, so I did already add all of the ink colors I'm using today in the video description, so you can at least, you know, find them there and just click on them, and then from there add them to your card easily. Now what you want to do is you want to use this piece here, or, you know, whatever you cut it from, and slide it through the slit. So this is the outside, obviously. You don't So this is where you add your moving piece to. So this right here is where you adhere it, so that when you then pull this piece, it pulls everything out. So first of all, I'm just using some low-tech tape again, just so that it stays in place there. Here. Now I'm using mine at the bottom because that's obvious what makes the most sense with this truck. You could of course also turn it and do something that moves vertically, or you could also do something that moves at the top. So it depends on your on the image that you are using, what makes the most sense. But for this one, the bottom makes the most sense. Now I want to turn this over, and this right here is where you want to add your adhesive on to. I am going to use double-sided tape just because this is the easiest to do with acetate and the cleanest, because I don't want any adhesive to sort of smudge and smear and go over the acetate, because then once it gets stuck on the rest of the card, you won't be able to move your slider. So I'm just adhering this here. Okay, now this is the card I'm using. If you do have a front and back, make sure that you put it on the right way. If not, then it doesn't matter. Now you want to make sure that you place this so that you have an even space around this pull-out card on all sides. Now I wanted to remember, see, I am going to trim my card just slightly because I want to have a little bit more room to place some foam adhesive here. And I don't want my card to stick out apart from this tab. But if you don't mind that, then you can just keep it as it is. So I'm making sure to line it up nicely so that it's lined up here and here. And then I'm pushing down. And now I can place my foam adhesive around the outside. So it's best to use foam adhesive just so that you have a little bit of room where your card can move. So I can now pull this off. And you can already see how it moves this part. Obviously, once you have the frame and everything added, it won't move this freely. But just to show you that it works. So I'm going to use 2mm foam adhesive. I think 1mm would be fine, but since I don't mind having dimensional cards, I'm going to go with 2. I'm seeing bear, so for me that's a bear. I never even question it. But in any case, it's a cute little critter that sells ice cream. So what's not to love about him? I don't discriminate. Bear, squirrel, whatever you want. And make sure that you have some room between your adhesive and your slider card, just so that it doesn't get stuck. So how much time do I have left? Okay, I think I should be good on time. Not sure if I will be able to do shaker element. Hold on. So before I add this to my card front, so what I was talking about earlier is that I wasn't sure if I want to add this so that once I add my sliding element, it's all one color, or if I want to have a white frame. I'm going to add the colored frame. It's just such a nice color scheme. Where's my tape runner? So of course I could also use double-sided adhesive, or hold on. Better. But again, I feel like this is the fastest way to do it. Now you could also now invert it and do it like this. This also looks cool. What do we think about that? This also looks really nice. Instead of, you know, the way I actually cut it. Let's do it like this. That's fun. It's a little bit fiddly, but just trying to get it lined up nicely. And the nice thing is you can just use the edges of the card base. Okay, so now I can put my slider piece on here and just making sure that it's nice and centered. Did I already pull up? No, maybe I should actually pull up the backing. That would help. Okay, so now putting this in here, and there you go. And now we can pull this out. Okay, so let me make some room. So what I thought I was going to do is have a little shaker element behind this window here. And I will try my best to get it done in the time that I still have. I think it should be good. It's just a small shaker element. So I'm just going to add this adhesive here. This one I am going to do with liquid adhesive. So this is our Precision Clear Craft Glue. This is the 1 ounce bottle, so this was part of the Cards for Him event. This size is not available. I just grabbed what was closest to me. Maybe I should have grabbed the ones that are actually available. Hold on. So these are the two sizes we do have available. We have the 2 ounce bottle and we have the glue pen with 1/2 ounce. Hi Christina, thank you for joining us. Even if you're late, that's not, you know, we are happy for everyone who joins us. Or even if you join us on the replay, it's always nice for people to pop in. Okay, I hope I didn't miss a question. If I did, then please just ask again. I feel like I forgot to look at the screen for a while. Okay, so I'm going to use the same 2mm foam adhesive as before. And as I said, I don't mind dimensional cards. If you want, you could also just skip one of the dimensional layers. So either do a shaker or the foam adhesive on the slider element. But I don't mind having it on both. Now maybe I shouldn't have taken off the backing already, but it just sort of came off anyway. So we will see how much glitter will stick to this. Now what I thought I would do is, if I'm going to add some glitter to this window, but I'm going to put vellum on the back just so that it sort of mutes the background a little bit and you can see the glitter a little bit better. You could also put the window that was die cut on here, or just a piece of white cardstock or whatever. You know, you could do something fun in the background, whatever you feel like doing. Now, as I said, by accident, I kind of already pulled up some of the adhesive backing, so I will have to make sure to do this carefully. Is this too much glitter? I don't know. Is it ever too much glitter? Who knows? Okay, let me close this first so I don't have a glitter explosion. And maybe I should have measured this before putting all the glitter in and the adhesive. But we are going to have to work with this. Okay. Super professional. Never too much glitter, exactly. Okay, so just making sure that I push the vellum down nicely so that I don't have any gaps and the glitter doesn't come falling out. And there you have it. A nice glittery truck. I like it. Now, so we need to add our ice cream cone at the top, like the little sign. So I'm going to put this together before I adhere to the slider element, just to make sure that, you know, it's all adhered nicely. Hold on. Sorry for the sniffling. Okay, now I'm going to let this dry. And then we need to add our cute ice cream seller. And I wanted to show you something, and I think some of our design team members have done this. So this is one of the other sets from this release. This is called the Patisserie Pals. And in this set you have this cute little bunny reaching for these macarons or like cake or whatever in this patisserie. Now this one would be really cute combined with this set because it has the perfect size to fit here and it would look like he's actually reaching for this ice cream. So the sets in this release are can be combined together so nicely, so I just wanted to make sure to mention that. So let me add the little bear here. And then, so what you could do now, because of course I need something that actually connects the truck to this slider part here. Now, since the wheel is a separate piece, what I'm going to do is cut sort of like a larger piece. I have this one prepared here, so that it actually looks like this. I could ink blend this, but I think it also looks nice with the white, so I don't mind the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm just sticking this on a piece of white scrap paper and then kind of trying to, you know, cut a wonky shape, wonky wheel out of it. The nice thing is that the wheels themselves are already wonky, so you don't have to cut a perfect circle. You could also just punch a circle with a hand punch or, you know, a small die. But I like the wonky look. So this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to add this here as well. Yes, it has a shaker and it moves. It's a 2-for-1. And I think that's fun. Okay, so now I need to make sure that I connect this wheel to the truck, but I also need to make sure that I don't put any excess adhesive here that isn't covered by anything, because otherwise it will stick to the card here and I won't be able to slide my slider. Now I am going to, because since this moves, I mean, if you were to adhere this to your card directly, this, connecting these pieces like this is perfectly fine. But since this is going to move, what I am going to do is add a little bit of acetate to connect those pieces to make sure that my large ice cream sign doesn't fall off. So I need to do a little bit of surgery. Now, where's the adhesive? The acetate. Yeah, just gonna cut a new one, because obviously looking for a clear piece in this mess is not gonna be easy. Okay, so now I have this acetate. Right now there's a little bit of glue, but once it dries, because our glue dries clear, you won't be able to see it. How many times did you practice this card? I didn't. I didn't practice it at all. The only thing I did was the background that I played around with, and I did ink blend the truck before already, just to see if the colors work together, but that's it. I didn't practice the actual card. So, because to be honest, I don't usually do that. I mean, of course, for the event, for example, I do make the cards before at least once, because obviously I have to take the photos of the finished card. But other than that, I don't like practicing my cards before showing them in a live, because I feel like I want to show you the actual process and, encourage people that it's possible to do something like this without having to practice it before. So that's my thinking. I want to cut off a little bit of that. As I said, you could ink blend these wheels a little bit to have them in a different color, or you could punch them if you don't like this sort of wonky look, but I actually do like it. Now make sure that you only add adhesive to this piece here, the piece that is, sticking out. Because if you add any adhesive that goes above this, your piece won't move. Now what I'm going to do is I will add my adhesive to the wheel. And actually I can do the whole wheel, I just realized. And I might need to do it with liquid adhesive later, but I'm just going to do this after the live. For now, I just want to show you what it looks like all put together. Just want to make sure that everything is dry and, I don't rip anything apart. See, that's what I was talking about. I actually did the thing that I told you not to do. I did put too much adhesive and I didn't wait for it to dry. So I'm going to do that. Hold on. Okay, so for now I don't have a sentiment. What I thought I was going to do, I completely forgot about this, to be honest, right now. But what you could do is just use one of the sentiments in this set and stamp it directly onto the truck, or just put it on the inside, because there's a lot going on already here. I will adhere it in a second. I'm just going to wait a moment. So yes, this stamp set does have sentiments. And lots of fun sentiments, I think. Celebrating you is the sweetest. Have the happiest birthday. Sending sweet sunshine. Happiness is a cone away. This one is my favorite. Life is better with sprinkles. You sprinkle kindness everywhere you go. I love chilling with you and just for you. And the coordinating dies cut out just for you. Have the happiest birthday and sending sweet sunshine. Because the other ones are pretty easy to cut out in sort of a sentiment strip. And yes, I do like the handwritten font. It just goes perfectly with these illustrations. So, just making sure to... The nice thing about this tape runner is that you can just rub it off. But as I said, I will play around with this and get it perfectly adhered after the live, but I want to show you how this moves. Like this. And then you could, of course, add... Oh, I forgot this little guy. I'm going to add him to the window. Give me a second. And some foam adhesive, of course. So this is the finished card. I'm not going to add, I'm probably not going to add any more bling to the card front, just because I think there's already a lot going on. But what I did want to do is just grab, and I will be done in a second. I know my time's up. I will be done in a second. But what you can do, and you could do this before you adhere everything together, but you can use the little sprinkles from the stamp set and just, you know, spruce up the slider part. And you can even put some of the sprinkles here, so it's not just plain white. So I'm going to do one more in passion fruit. And of course, pink in a moment. And then I am done for now. As I said, I will add a sentiment either to the inside or somewhere on the outside, and you will see that on the finished card. And I will definitely post this, you know, on our social media. Okay, so now it's even more fun than before. Okay, so is there a way I can apply to be a card designer for Pinkfresh? Well, you can always make sure to, like, the way to get noticed, to be honest, is also to just post projects with our products and tag us on Instagram or, you know, social media in general, and make sure to take part in our monthly challenges, so that way we can also see your creations. And who knows, we might, you know, invite you for a guest design, or, you know, or for a blog or a release hop. So yeah, this is what it looks like now. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me grab my, turn my camera. Okay, sorry for sniffling the whole time. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I hope you enjoyed this process, and Kinnery is going to randomly pick our 2 winners. So until then, if you have any more questions, please let me know. And I just want to remind you that in 2 days, so same time on Thursday, noon CT, I will be on the Pinkfresh Studio channel again with a live event kit unboxing. And you can already find the event description on our website. And you can click there to get notified once it goes live, just so that you don't miss it. And you can also find the full description of, you know, the themes that we are going to cover, the products that are included, like the names, the values, everything on there. So if you already want to sort of familiarize yourself with it, then make sure to check that out. And then, of course, make sure to join in on Thursday again, where we will also be giving away a free spot to the event. Okay, so I see Kinnary picked the winners. So Melanie Hotchkiss and Angela Fenton. Congratulations, you two are today's giveaway winners. Now make sure to claim your prize by emailing customerservice@pinkfreshstudio.com and give Jody 2 to 3 business days, or maybe right now 3 to 4 business days, because as I said, she is representing us at a trade show, so I'm pretty sure she's quite busy. And then she will get you your gift cards. But Jody is really quick, so I wouldn't be surprised if you get your gift card right away. Any idea how long the unboxing will be? To be honest, I have no idea. I think the last unboxing took about 40 minutes, something like this. So I would guess around that time again. 45 minutes, I would guess. Okay. So if you don't have any more questions for me, or if you're watching the replay and do have questions, then make sure to leave a comment, and we are checking comments regularly and I will get back to you. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's live. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Thanks, Kinnary, and take care, everyone. Bye.